guys, it's been a minute and today's video is going to be about proper foot care for your bird. Now, we always think of our bird's wings because they use them to fly and that's what makes them unique, but do we ever think about our bird's feet? Their feet are just as important as their wings, maybe even more. They use them not only to walk and perch, but so much more. Now, if you're new here and you want to learn more about parrot care, dog care, how-to tips, training videos, diet and nutrition for small birds and small breed dogs, and so much more, including all our fun adventures, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Now, a parrot's feet is something that is really fascinating and amazing because their legs and feet are perfectly designed for long-term and short-term perching. Long-term as in 12 hours when they're sleeping throughout the night. Normally as a person that would tire you out or you wouldn't even be able to sleep. But their legs and feet are designed in such a way by nature that it's perfectly normal and comfortable for them to perch for long periods of time. So we also want to make sure that we're choosing the right perches for our bird's feet. From a functional perspective, the bird or parrot's feet are used for walking, grasping, perching, but also in some birds swimming. With parrots, they don't use their feet to swim, but for example, ducks or swans, they do use their feet to swim. Now, parrots usually have a zygodactyl foot arrangement. This means that they have 2 toes in the front and then they have 2 toes in the back. This allows them to perch, grasp, hold on to things, and stuff like that. Here's a little bit of a fun fact for today, guys. It's most commonly found that birds are left-footed. So I've been actually observing Mango and noticed that he is actually left-footed. Just like humans, we're either right-handed or left-handed. I'm right-handed. So let me know in the comments if your bird is left-footed or right-footed because I'm interested to know if this statistic is true. So let's talk about perches because this is going to be the first important thing when it comes to your bird's foot care. What are they standing on? What are they perching on? What are they grasping on? So perches come in a variety of different sizes, and the size that you're going to choose is going to depend on the size of your bird. So for a conure or a sun conure, I like to choose the small or sometimes the medium size perches because I know that those sizes are going to be perfect for his feet. I would never go large, extra large, or bigger because then it's just not going to be good for his feet. Birds do need a variety of perches that differ in diameters and textures for optimal foot care. Because of the locking mechanism that's found in our bird's foot, they can develop pressure points on the bottom of their feet from constantly standing on perches of the same diameter. Variety is going to protect your bird's feet and it's going to help exercise their feet as well. If you use inappropriate perches for your bird's feet and their size, then it can cause some foot issues or discomforts, and even something most commonly that is found amongst pet birds called bumblefoot. Now, bumblefoot is used as an all-encompassing term for issues involving infection or inflammation of your bird's foot. If they're not perching on a perch that's going to be good for their feet, then over time they can develop these pressure sores. These sores can also become infected, and that's when it becomes difficult to cure. So it's very good to prevent this from happening rather than having to deal with it or try to find a cure for the infection because sometimes it is difficult to get rid of. I also might add that overweight birds are also usually more prone to these sores. So to ensure that your bird is properly perched, you want to make sure that when they're on the perch, that their feet are only halfway around the perch and that they're able to balance properly and keep their balance. Now, clean, natural perches are going to be the best types of perches for your bird, and you also want to make sure that they're never sprayed with any chemicals or insecticides or anything like that, especially when you're putting them in your bird's cage for your bird, because they will also most likely chew on them. It's also important to clean them with an antibacterial soap and rinse them in hot water. I always like to give my perches a good rinse in hot water. Also, I wanted to mention, if you prefer reading or you learn better that way, then I also have a blog on this topic. So I'm going to leave that in the description below for you. Next on the list is sanded or cement perches. So I actually really like these perches, and these ones I got in Thailand, so I can't tell you the brand, but I'm sure that you can find similar ones, and I really like these ones. They come in a variety of sizes and colors, which are really fun. And I know there's a lot of information about these sanded or cement perches online of how they're bad for your bird's feet. So I do want to talk about that. There are pros and cons to these types of perches. First, I want to talk about the pros. These are going to help keep your bird's nails trimmed. And even though some people might not agree with this, I've noticed that it does keep Mango's nails trimmed in comparison to birds who do not perch on these. So I noticed a huge difference, and it works for us. And the other thing is that it helps to increase blood flow to the foot. However, they are not meant for long-term perching. And this is where problems can arise when it is used for long-term perching. Because of the coarse texture, it can irritate the bottom of your bird's feet. These perches are better suited for short-term perching. That's where they're going to work in your benefit and your bird's. So I like to place these by food or water bowls, because then they're only perched or using them for short periods of time. I've also swapped our window/shower perch to these ones instead of the plastic ones that they come with, because they only perch on them for short periods of time as well. If you do choose to go with this type of perch after installing it into your bird's condo, just make sure to regularly check the bottom of their feet and make sure that it's not too abrasive and it's not irritating their feet, and that it is in a spot where they're only perching for short periods. The next perch, this is a really great one, natural rope perches. Now, stay with me on this one, because by natural rope, I don't mean the stringy rope. I'm going to get into the types of rope, but these are going to provide relief for your bird's feet from all of those harder perches. Some older birds that have arthritis might really appreciate these. So when we talk about natural rope perches, I'm talking about 100% natural fibers. So things like hemp rope, sisal, and abaca ropes are going to be really great options. Now, we have sisal ropes for Mango, and I actually got these from Planet Pleasures. Regular rope is just unsafe because it invites chewing, and when they chew it, they also ingest it, and that can cause a buildup inside of their little bodies, and it can just be a very not pleasant situation. It also can fray, and all of these frayed pieces can catch their little toes or nails and cause accidents that we want to avoid. So I definitely do not recommend other types of ropes or cotton ropes, things like that. The last perch that I'm going to mention for today, this sunny day, is shelf perches. So shelf perches are just flat perches, and these are a good choice because it gives your bird's feet the chance to stretch, and it's also a great platform for them to eat and play on. Now, you want to keep an eye on your perches on a daily basis, and whenever you see food or fecal matter stuck to them, you want to make sure that you clean them off and rinse them so that it doesn't harden and stay there for long periods of time. You want to make sure that they dry really well, especially the wood ones, because wood is porous and it can harbor bacteria, and you don't want that. My 5 tips for proper foot care for your bird. The first one, which we talked about a lot, is providing a variety of perches in different diameter and textures. Second is going to be also providing lots of toys and swings that are appropriate for your bird and their size along with those perches, because that's going to encourage them to move from perch to perch and exercise their feet. It's also going to encourage them to grasp toys, and grasping is also a form of exercising their feet. Next is maintaining a good, healthy weight for your size bird and type of parrot that you have. So overweight birds, we talked about, are more prone to having more pressure and tension on their feet because of their weight. So we want to either maintain weight or help them lose weight. Next, relating to weight, is going to make sure that they have a healthy diet that's full of nutrients that's going to be great for their feathers, their feet, their skin, and nails. And last but not least, number 5 is going to make sure that we're keeping an eye on how long their nails are. This is why I recommended sanded or cement perches, because these perches help keep those nails filed down a little bit or trim them down. If you notice that your bird's nails are getting too long, then you want to go see your avian vet, because they can safely help you to trim those nails down. And the last thing is that you want to make sure that you're washing your hands prior to handling your bird, especially if you're a smoker or something like that, because any toxins or stuff that's on your hands can transfer to your bird's feet. So we want to avoid that and take care of them. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. I'd love to hear how you take care of your bird's feet and any tips that we can share with each other.
Get